Hey, hey, we are live. This is like off the top rope Pioneer Family Show. As we wait to see everyone on the camera, you are seeing me and LMR. Big Nance running through, spinning the ones and twos. Sorry about that, Ma. Good evening. Ooh, I got that on. That's a scary thing to see, isn't it? Let's get rid of that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday evening. Pioneer Family Show. We're going to tonight just twist this one up just a bit. Why? Because I know you guys love the family show, but, but sometimes we got to change it up just a little bit, just to change it. Questions, comments, complaints. This show always works best when you do what you do, I do what I do, and we all do what we all do. We're going to go out tonight into the loft, kind of do a different type of family show tonight. Tracy, good evening. Oh, speaking of Tracy, in about 2 to 3 minutes, I'm going to thank you for the awesome birthday gift. This wasn't the birthday gift. It was the cake. That was the birthday gift. But this was part of the cake. So good evening, Tracy. Again, guys, this is a different type of family show tonight. I'm going to be doing what I do. Loft manager Richard, he is running around feeding. We had somebody drop off. So it was what it is and is what it was. It kind of got screwed up a bit. We didn't want to miss out. I didn't want to come on too late. But we did have another gentleman drop off the birds. Hey, Michael Green, how are you? Tracy, good evening. Heather Green, Mike Green, Heather Green there on. But let's see how many people we get going on here. I want to make sure what's going on with the internet connection over there. You know what? My friend, I don't know. I can't figure it out. The internet is never any good. We are going to go out to the loft. I hope it doesn't drop feed. We're going to just stick in Ricky's loft here tonight. But I know it's internet. It's so ridiculous. I go to Europe and I get great internet. And then I'm here at home and it's like one day it's great, one day it's not great. I mean, the internet bill's expensive enough as it is. But that's your internet for you. You're only as good as your internet provider. And who are we using for internet? Rogers. I don't recommend Rogers. Mike Sheridan's in the house. How's it going, Mike? Pioneer. Good evening, family. Good evening, Henry Ratter. Remember, guys, Henry Ratter rhymes with ladder. I want to thank Tracy. Good evening, Brian. Tracy took the time to design the ultimate cake. So working on her photos a bit there, Trace, but let me get rid of that comment. But overall, what a great cake. The one good thing about the cake is you eat it. It's a Grey Goose cake. It was, instead of doing a sideways, we did an up and down view on it. But there's the cake that Tracy made. It's full of Grey Goose. It's like a tower. I had to bring it back across the border, and the problem when bringing it back is when you drive a couple hundred miles, it rattles, bangs, and it doesn't stay together. But Tracy, awesome cake tower. You are the cake tower champion. And just to prove how much I love my Grey Goose, this stuff is great. I mean, it is so smooth. This is how I drink. When I drink vodkas, this is what I do. For people wondering, I like the taste of this. I like it with cranberry. I like it with juice. And I just top it up with my Diet Pepsi. So tonight I will have a drink on the family show. This one's for Tracy. So Tracy, I owe you for that one. Thank you very, very much. Tracy is the cheer captain. Great. Grant Wilson's up. What's going on, Grant? From the land down under. Hold on. I got to get to all the comments. How come it deletes the Facebook comments? No, here it comes. They come back. Mandy Scar. Okay, hold on. Mandy Scar, what's up? Beebler, what's going on? Good evening. Are you going to drink that drink, really? I mean, are you going to drink the whole drink just like that? What are you, a guzzler? Brian Mansker, Henry Ratter. Here's my man, Grant Wilson. What's up from the land down under? Enjoy. What is ABC Loft saying, is there a way to get a router closer to the loft because your internet is good in the house, just not outside? Well, we got this, we just put a brand new internet in, and it has this thing. So let's just say it's like this, plugs into your wall. So we got the internet upstairs. The internet used to be in the basement. Now we moved it up to the top rooms. And we got this little thing that we plug into the wall here in the kitchen. It looks like a white thing. It just plugs in. It's supposed to boost your internet. Now the question is, do you think we could take that outside? But that's a great question. I don't know. Again, it seems like everything I ask of the internet people, they're always like, bullshit. You beg and you can't get it. But Jacques, hey, from South Africa. South Africa's a nice place. Never been there, but I will be there. There's the one and only. He's a legend. Guys, everyone, say hi to Ken Lavoie right now. He is a legend. Round of applause for Ken. Let's give Ken a round. Ricky's not out in the loft yet, is he? Bruce Dickinson, you're the man, Bruce. We're going to try and go out to the loft. We're going to take a look at the birds. I want everybody to load up. If you have questions, now is the time. You know what? I wanted to stop taking birds this weekend. I'm not going to lie, guys. I got people that are driving here delivering birds. I'm done. This is it. This is the lot. Get your birds here and it's over. I got to go to tomorrow night to pick up birds. I got birds coming again from out west on Thursday. There was problems with WestJet. What can I do? Here's the one and only Jay-Z. Hey, friends from North Carolina. Hey, Ken, that's it, Peeves. That's it, brother. Everyone, come on, guys. Everyone, round of applause for Ken Lavoie. If you guys are looking for world-class Medinas, this is the man that has them. And if you use code name Pioneer, he will give you $52 off a Medina. Just use Pioneer. I have better internet on my phone on the road. I know. What's going on, Mo the Cheese Man? So let's pray to the internet gods that this SHI with a capital T is going to work. Now, I know you guys like that. Swearing is allowed on all these shows if you can spell the word that you're going to say. That's what my mom told me. You're allowed to swear as much as you want if you spell it out. Right, Mom? What? See? Even Big Ned says you're allowed to. Mo the Cheese Man. Mo, the cheese is good. Mo has the best cheese. Guys, any bag of cheese you want, Mo can get it for you. They're normally $250 a bag. Mo's got them right now on sale for $45. Just letting you know. I'm trying to get outside and the comments are coming. And once I get into this, Jackie. Ma, how do you spell this last name? Lupia. It sounds like a fun one to say. Lupia. Jackie Lupia. Bring back your lost lover in 2 days and make her yours for good pay after job. What the hell is this? Jackie Lupia, this has been elimination. What's going on here? Ken, everyone's saying hi to you. Round of applause. People are giving Ken Lavoie some love. He needs a little love today. I can feel it. I had Medinas as a kid before racing homers. Well, Ken has world-class ones. And guys, I'm not bullshitting you. He sends them all over the world. I wasn't making any fun. If you are interested in really good quality Medinas, Ken will hook you up. Just say you're part of the Pioneer. And if he doesn't hook you up, you come and ask me. And you know what? I'll call him. Because Ken, it's Ken. He's Ken. He's Ken. It's Ken. Now, we're going to head outside here in just a second. We all got quiet all of a sudden. The whole room got quiet. My brother Ron died yesterday. Ken Lavoie, his brother Ron died yesterday. Sorry about that. Our condolences. So, guys, make sure you give Ken a big cheers up. You know, man, this is the month of, this is the last 2 months, Mom. Everyone's dying. Holy jumping. Okay, no more death, please. Jeez. But we're sorry about that, Ken. Glad to see that you're on the show. Ricky's coming up here. I'm going to grab my other microphone, and then I'm going to start the festivities. What was I going to say? I'm just waiting for Ricky to ask me a question. Sorry for your loss, Ken. Yes, sorry. Ken, give me about 2 minutes. I'm coming out in about 2 minutes. You still have time. You're still doing your thing? You're done. Okay, 2 seconds here. I'm just grabbing the other microphone and away we go. We're gonna go grab. Hey, Mom, you think that thing will work outside if we just take it and plug it in the outside the door? We don't know. Nobody knows. I'm getting the microphones. We're gonna try this out. But anyways, I am grabbing these mics. We're gonna try and see if I can. I'm testing something out here too, guys, as well. I'm doing a double mic hookup. So let's try this out. Then we're gonna go out. Ricky's Birds had the greens today. Sorry about being dark. Remember, if you have questions for Loft Manager Richard, he'll be ready in about 2 seconds to take them. We got our freezer working again. Thank the baby Jesus. So we're using our Rogue mics. Let's see how this works. Questions. ABC Lofts. Oh, let's see here. Do you have a first time out for the Birds in mind? What's today? Can we say today's the 1st? I think by the 10th or the 12th they'll be out. I mean, that's what I say. I'm probably going to have a few of my birds out ahead of Richard's just because of the way my loft's set up. But that's a great question. First things first, you got to get all the birds that are here. You got to get them on a system, right? You can't just, and I'll post this up. You can't just, with all these lofts, you can't just get them in for 3 days and start getting them out. Number one, you can make it in a regular cup, Dad. Tonight's in America. What's today? Not Victoria Day. I like it. What's today in America? Memorial Day. Today's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. And like Leah says, put your questions, your comments, your complaints, anything that you have pigeon related, go ahead. Joseph, did Tracy pick her bird yet? I don't know. We're going to have to ask Tracy if she picked her bird. But we are now going to hook up this mic. Now, guys, I'm just going to make sure you can hear me, okay? So here we go. Let's try this out and see how this works. Wish me luck. Are the mics? Here we go. We are back on. I'm going to head outside and we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to shut this one mic off. Memorial Day. So let's go outside. Make sure you guys can hear me. Happy Memorial Day. Oops, those are your shoes. We'll leave this open for a bit. Here we go. It's loud. Okay, that's good. Better to be loud than not loud. Remember, guys, if I'm too loud, you know what to do. Just turn your volumes up. Loud and clear. So we can do that. That's a technique. My camera on the outside's a little bit gooey. I'm cleaning her up. Is that me cleaning her up or what? Ooh. I got to clean her. Hold on, kids. Hold on. Better? I think so. Loud and clear. So we're going to go down and take a look at Ricky's birds. If I am too loud, please let me know. I'm trying to find where the best spot to put this microphone is. It's a bit of what we call a pain in the butt. But it is a bit cloudy. Why are we cloudy today? Shite. We're cloudy. Let's fix this up. Hold on. You went inside my mouth there for a second, guys. Again, this is the Pioneer Family Show where we do different shit, man. This is different. Oh, I can't swear. SHITs. All right. That one looks like it's working. You're fine, good, loud and clear, good, 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 good. All right. So, again, we had people dropping off birds, screwed up the family show a bit tonight, but that's okay, because next week we'll be back to our regular program. Richard's birds were into the greens today. They've had greens after their bath. And I'm telling you guys, they attacked the greens. They were in it all day. Look, they're still in it. They're still eating. Remember, sorry, Mandy. When the greens are done for the day, they've trampled on them. Maybe they've shit on them. They're old now. And when you get free lettuce, throw it out. But looking good. Oh, here, I'm going to hook you up, Ricky. And guys, make sure in about 20 seconds, because there's a delay, you should hear Ricky. I'll clip that on. I don't know. You can clip it yourself. Just push it in the way. It's on there. I don't know. Here we go. The air conditioner, yeah. There you are. You're out in the sea there, the birds. Ricky's just hooking his mic up. Oh, there's the Tracy's mealy pied. Some real nice birds. Look at that beautiful slate. And you see, still eating the greens. They have it today. Mm-hmm. This is the first time we've greened these guys up. Mm-hmm. Ricky, what do you got to say?
Oh yeah, you're doing good. Let's get in there and feed them. It's getting a bit late.
I'm good to go. I was waiting for you.
Oh yeah, I know you were. Thanks for waiting, Ryan. I appreciate that.
And we're gonna go in and feed. Again, if you guys have questions, now's the time. Remember, this show works best when you guys ask your questions. We're gonna hope it doesn't kick us out. Leah, you had a couple questions for me today that you wanted to ask.
Hello. 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 As you can see, that bit of lunch that they had before, it's all cleaned up. We do see a little bit of sand in the bottom of the feeder, which as you can watch, I will empty that out in about a second. Here we go. I just turn that right over.
You see like little soldiers, they're coming in.
There we go. Now I just empty that out. There we go. And a little tap tap, and it's pretty well all out. As you can see in here now, we're getting a little more droppings in here, and not so much sand dust is happening right now. So
actually, what I think you're trying to say is it's slowly becoming in there.
It's
remember that one there at the back?
Yeah, that's one there. That's the one. Yeah,
that's the one.
That one there must have been. I don't.
Any sick birds yet? Oh, there's sick birds every day. Every day you got it. Somebody is not perfect, and that's the truth of it. You know. When do you know you're out of the woods? When the last bird is in and you've gone about 15 days, that's when you know you're starting to get in the clear. Until now, it's just everyone handles the stress like differently.
This here is a new young one. You know, again, you gotta get those birds ready to go to army, right? You don't take the baby right out of the cradle and put them on the army front.
Now, Richard, you scrape the table what, once a day?
I scraped it once before today, yes.
Yeah, you scraped it once today. Good question. Mm-hmm. There it is. You're not going to hide nothing. The table's all nice and dry. I'd eat my sandwich off it.
Right.
No, it's not we're not feeding on the table.
No, we're not.
We're not.
And I scraped those droppings, if you were on earlier.
Yeah.
I scraped them from the table right onto the floor.
You know what we'll do after this?
Right.
We'll do it again.
So I'm going to close that drop chute.
Oh, you got a couple out.
Is there still a couple?
Yeah, a couple new ones. And guys, that's what you see right there. Watch. You see that bird? Look.
The checker?
The checker, he's facing the outside window.
Yeah.
Do you see living? I don't see living.
No, he doesn't. He's got no what they call constitution. You know, he's thinking about maybe they just took him away from his mother, his parents, and you know, where are my parents now? You know, I've seen birds come home from, we used to have short races years ago, which was 50 to here, 57 miles. And some guys had birds coming from those races, young birds, and parents were still feeding them. Like, okay, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now you take that bird, and now we're going to have to bring him back somehow. If he doesn't want to survive, if he gives up his constitution, the right to live, he's a goner.
And again, the pigeons have to dig to live. They have to want to live. Every race all over the world, it's the same thing.
A racing pigeon has to have the desire to work and to strive forth. If he doesn't have it, he's a goner.
Mandy Scar, good question. Do you manually mix the droppings into the sand? Yeah. Now, in a few weeks, Mandy and others, he's going to go through and rake this through. But it's so dry, you just leave it still.
I haven't raked it yet. I haven't touched it yet. That's it. Now these guys here, they're really doing a good job.
Your birds are eating the sunflowers better than mine.
Oh yeah.
And the silver needs another dunking.
Yeah,
He's not picking up the feed here. But that's okay, it happens. And I'll tell you, when you put pigeons into a loft like this, or any loft, some pigeons, they don't handle the change.
It's like this. Some of them get lost and become barn plugs, become city pigeons. Other ones get lost. The coyotes eat them.
And there you're seeing them right up close here in front of you. Questions now, your time to put them in, don't be shy. This is a different family show, guys, different than normal. Why doesn't Elamar scrape the table? Because it's his loft and he's going to scrape it when he's going to scrape it, and that's it. I don't know.
I scraped it off earlier. That's it. What's the difference? Does it make a difference to you folks why the table's not scraped? Come on, people. What's the big difference?
And you know, that's another thing that makes, when you look at anything, we show you all the good, everything. We're not hiding something from you. We show you the whole thing. Look, we show you the checker in the back. He's shutting it down. He's shutting the engine down.
He's shutting his engine down.
That's it. We show you, hey look, the droppings here on the table. The table's bone dry. Right?
I'm just wait. There. It's almost bone dry. Look, a little bit of shit in my fingers. Big deal.
Hey, look at guys, when I was doing construction, I cut the table with the saw.
Well, at least you didn't cut your knee off.
No. Hold on. Do you like feeding the whole sunflower seeds or the sunflower hearts? Well, the sunflower hearts are nicer. They're hell of a lot more money.
What are you talking about? Safflower?
Yeah, safflower. Or the sunflower hearts, right. Whatever. The benefit to the shells are you get fiber in the shells. And you know what? It's good for the young pigeons. I like to see USA OLRs with 24/7 live feeding and training returns, perches and feeding areas, all live. Well, that's what we do here. We pretty much are live 2 to 3 times a day. Oh man, Ricky, black checker pie. Wow,
That's
what a hand.
JK Loft.
Look at this. Oh, you see the intelligence, eh?
Yeah, you know, you talk about pigeons eating. I'm always studying pigeons. I study pigeons flying around barns. I study pigeons just, you know, whatever. And I've been...
One sec, Ricky. We got a question and a comment.
Right.
So a guy by the name of Find Out, interesting name on YouTube, says, as long as the droppings are dry and not a lot, it's not a big deal. Well, that table right there is exactly what you see. He scraped it off this morning. It's dry. Look at the intelligence on him going to the feed bucket. Hold on. And then ABC Lofts writes, how do you keep flies away? I don't see any.
There's no flies.
There's no flies. The loft's dry. Guys, look at where flies go. Flies like wet, moist places, right?
Yeah.
They do. This is bone dry.
Now, if I can make a comment, Ryan, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Ricky.
This floor here, the bird's been in here for 10 days, 14 days, something like that. I have not raked or cleaned this loft. Done. There's going to be no cleaning in this loft. None. Okay? But I just want to show you, underneath all these perches, yeah, we do have a little bit of droppings on the wall here. Yes, that's dry too. Right. But let's go right here in this one spot. We've got to keep on preaching about this. This here is where birds have been droppings for roughly 10 to 14 days. Okay?
And you see that you don't see sand anymore. You see it's like droppings.
It's like droppings. It's like, you know, they're doing their droppings and whatever. So
lots of little feathers.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is a little examination. We're going to go from this point, the very external point of this floor, to the internal part of this right here, from this right to the floor.
Okay.
The wood. It's a wooden floor. It's
wooden floor.
Inch and 3/4 thick.
Most people would think this is going to be soaking wet.
No, yeah. So this is, and believe it or not, I don't even know what I'm going to be seeing.
All right, hold on. We got some questions.
Right.
Now, before you do this.
Right.
Good question here from Jacques. Do you think cocks have an advantage over hens and OLRs? Does laying hen eggs influence the outcome of the race in your opinion? So Ricky, do you think in one loft racing cocks or hens?
I like the hens. I like the stump perches, okay, because what it tends to do is make the bird possessive of this stump. It's like a tree branch, okay, out there, okay? Now, if we had a box perch here, and there was a cock in this box perch, right? Mm-hmm. He would own that box perch. And what happens is, pigeons like to make love in a little bit of a dark, cozy little spot. So that would encourage the cock to entice a hen to go into that box perch. And what this does, he can still, his girlfriend can be here, he can talk to her, he can kiss her, but there's nowhere to be going into a box perch and mating up.
Now, and a question. We've done thousands or hundreds of imports from European birds, correct?
Yes, 100%.
And we've used these perches.
Yeah.
How many eggs have you ever had in a quarantine?
Out of 300 birds in one quarantine, I'd say maybe 3 pair of eggs.
In a corner on the floor.
In the corner on the floor. That's it.
And
or if you don't go box perch, you go with stadium perches. The only trouble with that is I don't like stadium perch. You can't get really close to the birds. They jump on the stadiums. They go.
Okay. All right. We got a couple questions before we look at the floor.
Right.
Hold on. Okay. Bruce Dixon. Look out, Ricky. I want to see it here. I want to look at the law. Bruce Dickinson writes, just a suggestion. Maybe take that corner off the table and a toe could get caught in it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Or we should put a little sign here.
You know what we'll do? We'll duct tape it.
We'll do the a secret handyman's weapon, a piece of duct tape.
All right, duct tape that tomorrow. Thank you, Bruce Dickinson.
He's got a good point there.
Loud and clear.
But I always say the bird that gets his toe caught is the best bird.
YouTube America. Okay, yeah, I don't know about that. We got a few more. Sand absorbs moisture. Michael Green says that. David Tracy, as dry as your loft is, I bet it doesn't even smell.
It doesn't smell in
It
here.
doesn't smell like pigeons at all. There's about 200 birds in here. Whoa.
What I said is I need even more droppings to make it work to the best.
I think Brian's hit this on the head. Wild barn pigeons have great immune systems. Ever see a wild barn pigeon, or a feral pigeon with dry crap nests? Okay, he has no canker, there's no problems, there's no nothing. And what Brian is saying is right. But that, again, in the wild, the strong survive.
Oh, the other answer I have, I agree with what Brian says.
Welcome, Derek.
But you're dealing with barn pigeons, feral pigeons. They have their own family in that barn. The family's been there, who knows, 50 years. They got 20 plugs, 30 plugs, 50 plugs, right?
Brian, I agree. Over-obsessing with cleaning droppings can weaken your immune systems. You got to have good immunity, guys. Now, if this loft was soaking wet and the table had juice on it and it was disgusting, get it cleaned up fine. But we're building immunity here.
But you know, like you said, so there's a crap right there. This is kind of a crap from before.
Dry.
Dry as can be. Now this one here is one that came in
just happened.
Probably a half an hour ago or something.
Yeah.
But if this table had a sand, had a frame around it where it would be sand, it'd be bone dry.
Now let's grab that one.
Okay, so we wanted to look at the floor here, yeah?
Let's see the floor.
Yeah,
We're going to get on here with Ricky and his floor.
Okay, so Ricky doesn't really know. He's trying to sell a dining room set with chairs that he says guarantees for life. But if we stand on them the other way, if they break, they're not so good, are they?
Let's see. Show me the floor.
So Ricky's now. I'm getting a little nervous, Ryan.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Been in here for 14 days. Okay, what do we see?
It's dry.
Dry. Okay, we're not down to the floor yet.
Go.
Okay, what do you see?
It's even drier.
Drier. We're not down to the floor yet. Okay, there's an inch and a half, 2 inches right now. Okay, now we're down to about 3.5 inches we haven't hit the floor yet. What do you see?
Dry.
Dry. Okay. Now, there's the floor. See the floor?
Yeah.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
There it is, right there. What is it?
Bone dry.
Bone dry. Bone dry.
And guys,
and always remember, wetness in a pigeon loft is, some people don't like to hear it. It's absolutely the devil.
And look, they're still out there picking
There's
greens.
that American pie, that bird again.
That's heather greens, the mealy pie.
That thing, I keep seeing it.
You know what happens when you see pigeons? When you see them, they catch your eyes. They're normally the ones that you get.
It's compact. It's not really that large. So I'm going to bring in their drink now.
And again, Ricky's going to give them the water.
We're going to have to get that checker. Where is it?
You know what? You know what the checker
does? Here it is. Here now.
Yeah, he's coming up for a drink.
He's coming up.
All right.
Okay, just if you want, you don't mind standing over there because I got to bring the water.
I just wanted to move my drink.
Thank you.
Here's another one of the birds I really like from Harry Paul. Take a look. Look at the health. This one here's got to get the photo done. We've still got photos to do. Now, we took the water. They had their bath. Ricky let them out. When he let them out, about a half hour in, he gave them a bath. He had to do grocery shopping. We gave them all a bath. They had the baths for about 3 hours running. The sprinklers were running. At around 4 o'clock, when I put shut the sprinklers off, I pulled the water away. Gave the birds the greens.
Now, if I can make a comment, you don't mind, Ryan?
Yeah, hold on. Troy's saying, LMR, it's been 3 weeks. Troy's going to follow us along.
It's been 3 weeks?
It's been 3 weeks. If you don't get that right, Ricky, I'm going to let you go.
Pretty darn close.
Pretty darn close.
Oh, I didn't think
What's
it was that
the difference between 2 weeks and 3?
Well, 1 week.
No, just 7 days.
Big time, yeah. What I was going to say is, what we're showing here right now, okay, is this is part of breaking, okay? These pigeons...
Let me go on this side of you.
No, you can go, please. Just stay
I want
right
to go
there.
over here so I can see you.
Okay, go ahead, go.
Just stand there for a moment. It's working good. Go.
Okay, so what you're seeing here is this is actual breaking of the pigeons. Yes, folks, they are thirsty. They are thirsty, but they don't want to leave this place because they know we get fed and they know he gives us water and it gives us a nice place to live. So now you can see these pigeons here. These are all healthy birds. They respect me. They have to respect me, or they're not going to be able to follow that bicycle down the road. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now I like to turn it this way because I don't want to shock them when I turn the container. So I turn my back and I flip it like this. I don't shock the birds. Here we go.
And you guys are just going to watch them have a drink.
This also builds up, what should I say? Builds up strength. It builds up power to get to the loft, to get to that drink, to get to that perch. It builds up a strength. In other words, I gotta get there and eat. I gotta get there and get fed. I gotta get to my stump perch. That's my perch on the wall.
Hey, when you guys watch this TV show Cheers, what did they all do at the end of their workday? They went to the bar to have their drink, didn't they?
They couldn't wait to get to the bar before they got home.
And for people wondering here, I'm going to pass you this checker that we were talking about. Ring number 222223. A lot of twos in there and a 3.
2223. I can kind of remember that.
So I'll let you dunk it. The body's all right. It looks a bit thirsty. It looks like it can't figure out the water, and that's okay. Go, Ricky, go.
She hasn't kicked the flight yet.
Hey, David Tracy, there you go. Ken Lavoie, there you go. Now let's see if this one's gonna have a drink. Oh, I love that. How did you?
I just gotta level this out a bit.
You know what? I shouldn't have sat on it.
I gotta level it. That's the only problem with sand on your floor. You know, you just like, holy mackerel. We should have a stand, Ryan, that goes right to the floor.
I'll make one tomorrow.
I hate to say it, but I just think this pigeon here
might not be it. Might not be the pigeon.
He hasn't.
pH of the water. Good question. Right now, this is called what we've got in the water. You see, it's white and a yellowy. It kind of looks like a lime juice, but it's not. What it is it's whey from making cheese. When you make cheese, you get the whey. So that's a good gut bacteria there, right in there. That's half whey, half water, and about 3 shots of yellow drops.
Yep.
Now, Richard, the people, I was going to ask you, those trays that you got out there, how do you get those trays out of there?
Well, that's kind of magic, Ryan. I just don't want to tell anybody.
You don't want to tell anybody,
No.
Okay.
It's like through hypnosis.
Through hypnosis. Yeah.
Now, as you can see, Ryan, I have that back door open to help give more air. And The air is very nice in here. It's perfect. I see the chemistry of the floor working very, very nicely. As you know, I think a couple weeks ago we had a little bit of dry, a little bit of sand dust.
There she is. She takes the same perch as Henny. This pigeon,
oh, she's strong.
This pigeon's dynamite.
She's a little bit larger, but if she starts working,
I'm gonna tell you.
Look at that nice head on her.
I'm gonna tell you. I gotta pick an all-star team in your loft.
This one here is very nice. This gay pied.
Yeah, you know who that's from, eh? That's from David Bloom. From Nova Scotia.
Whoa!
He gave you 10 pigeons.
10.
Not one took a backward step, which is great to see. Henry Ratter. Oh, hold on, Mike Green. I finally found a place to get yellow drops. Good job, Mike. Make sure you use them. Don't be shy. They won't hurt you. You can't overdo them. Henry Ratter asks, is it wrong? Okay. Is it the wrong way or the right way? Right way. The wrong way or the right way? Henry, we're not going to show you the cameraman tonight, Henry. That was a great comment. Brian, way is good stuff for the birds. Mike Kiefer works very good too. Milk Kiefer, sorry. My reading's not the best, I told you guys. PEI, sorry, he's not from Nova Scotia. David Bloom is from PEI.
Silver came up and had a drink there on its own. I just noticed. And
yeah.
I was sitting there before. This is one of the flying bitches right here.
This guy's got a great name. His name's Find Out. I like this. Find Out says, some of the top pigeons you've held in your hands, what type chest bone did they have? Flat, straight, round, like a hockey stick, or a U-shape? You know, all the pigeons that I've handled that were very well, they're very, very good raced birds, or pigeons that have done killer in races. They're a lot of the time very much the same. They're buoyant. Even if it's a bigger pigeon, they have the buoyancy. They look like monsters. You put them in their hand, there's not a lot there.
I think this fellow was talking about the keel bone.
The bone structure, you see it all in everything. They're all different. You see some of them are a little bit deeper.
Now just take a look how all these birds are going up to their stump.
Oh yeah.
And they're enjoying it. The thing I like about stump perches, and I don't want to change the subject there, Brian, but it gives more air in the room. You have box perches, and what it does is it traps air into even a foot by foot box. It still traps air. Trapping air can cause respiratory problems. This is more of an open system where we don't get trapped air. And as you can see, the birds are very happy on their stump. Take a look at some of those birds up there, Ryan. They're starting to go to sleep for the night. You see it?
Yeah, they're doing their thing. And you see birds can exercise. I'm going to be honest with you. We've talked about this already. I'm ready to get the old saw out and rip out my sections. But
oh wait, you can't do that now.
I can't change it.
Too late now.
Too late. But I know people thought when you set this up that you were going to have no control in here. That the pigeons were going to be wild, idiotic pigeons. I think they're all in.
Are they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, that's what people said. And you know what? We can tell you how you're going to get them. But you got to show, and it takes time. Guys, the birds aren't even close to there yet. We're just having a little bit of fun. Mark says this question, Ryan and Richard, or Ricky they call you.
Yeah, right.
Ricky goes with everything. Everything is looking great. Also, I took first place by 13 minutes, 500 miles open.
Oh, very
500
good.
mile open. Hey, Mark, great job, guys. Everybody right now.
So he was first place by how many minutes?
13 minutes at 500 miles.
Whoa, that was
good.
Very good. So it wasn't a fast race at all.
Well, we know
like
one
really.
thing. I'll say one thing. When you judge pigeons and you win by 13 minutes at 500 miles, you did real good.
You know, Ryan, if you don't mind me saying again, I remember I took a pair of birds to a 500-mile race, and in the Far North Club, we had about 15 members, and I show up at the club with 2 birds. It was actually a little bit over 500 miles. And the guys all laughed at me and they said, oh, you expect to get those 2 in the clock? You know, some guys brought 15 birds, 20 birds. I came up with 2 birds, cock and a hen. And I said, yeah, I expect. Well, the race was on, and I think it was Brian that said he was, what, 15 minutes ahead, Ryan, at 500 miles?
Yeah.
So I got my 2 birds, the cock and the hen. I got them both in. The cock was about, I believe, 3 hours after the hen. And I went to the club, and the guy said, oh, you got a bird? I said, yeah, I got both my birds. Well, I was second in the race, and the man who beat me was Volker Vale. He beat me by 2 hours, and I was second in the race, and I was so proud. But that's how tough that race was, and I was 9th with the cock. I came about 8:30 at night, but I was so proud at 500 miles to be second, but I was still 2 hours behind Volker.
All right, so we got a couple questions. Michael Peebler asks, do you simmer the whey before giving it? Yes, we do. We bring it up to a nice boil, then we shut it off, then we pour it into the drinkers. We cut it with half cold water, so it's almost like it's a nice lukewarm tea. That's the first one. What's the next question we have? What is the spacing on the perches? Well, I don't have a ruler.
It's a center to center perch. It's 12 inches.
12 inches. So
center to center.
Well, there you go.
Of the perch.
Of the perch. But there's my hand in between.
Your hand is 9 inches. Your fingers apart. It's between here, Ryan.
Yeah.
See here?
The perches are about 12 inches.
Center to center of the perch is 12 inches.
So that's a great question. Bruce, only one first prize. Bruce Dickinson knows that. Jeffrey, yeah, everyone knows Jeffrey. Guys, we're going to call him Jeffrey the cameraman. He don't give a shit, this guy. He has attitude. We're not sure if he's going to be a super or he's going to be a dud, but I'm going to tell you.
That's Henry Ratter's bird. And ask Henry, is that the son of, what was her name there? Hedgie Award bird there.
Yeah, what was that bird?
That was the winner of
Terry!
Terry, is that the son of Terry?
And there he is here. He was fighting the camera before. All of a sudden, he got a bit shy. But I'm going to tell you guys, look how close we are up to these birds. And there he's fighting a Ken Lavoie bird. And you see these perches, they get motivation.
Oh, we got to ask Ken Lavoie. His bird's getting a little tough, Ken.
And there's again the black hen I like. I got to get her
some J.K. Loft. Oh, J.K.'s got... Oh, you wanted to see this little chocolate here. This bird went beside him. And he just swatted him with the wing like, get over.
And guys, look how close we are with that camera. Now remember, the cameras don't touch the pigeons. They don't bother them. We get it used to it. This is why we're in here.
Well, they're in here. Look at these two fighting here. I want to be able to go down the road on my bicycle. Wait a minute. I got to buy a bicycle, Ryan.
Don't waste your money on bicycles.
No. But if I had a bicycle, I could ride down.
You know what you could do? You sit on the wagon and I'll pull you.
With the pickup truck?
No, with just myself.
Oh,
how fast do you want to go, Ricky? There's one of Mr. Bloom's birds as well. Another nice black pied.
Yeah, Dave Bloom.
Black checker pied.
This pigeon's nice. This is from Roman.
Look at this. I love this checker pied.
And look at that checker telling him off.
Oh, yeah. But we're in here. Night's coming. Again.
No, that bird there is an auction bird right there. That mealy.
Now, I'm interested. That pigeon, the only flaw I found in the pigeon were the vents were a little bit open.
Right.
I'd absolutely love, because now this loft is quite large, right?
Yeah.
Lots of exercise. I want to know how the vents are on it now. But boy, what a pigeon, eh? Take a look at it.
Now let me just.
I'll let you, it's yours. And I just look along here. And again, guys, yes, it's getting nighttime. The kids want to go to sleep.
Oh, you're smart.
Kids want to go to sleep.
No, she doesn't cooperate. But, so what you're saying is in here, Ryan, you think I should be flagging them?
Man, that's got power, that pigeon.
Hey, she's got muscle. She got muscle already. I can feel it. Oh, and she's only got about half her feathers on right now.
Oh, I know. She's just a rag, like just with
Her
no feathers.
vent bones are still open.
Still open. So she hasn't tightened that up yet.
But she is like a rock.
So vents a little open, but still steel.
Oh God, she's got muscle here. Look at.
And you know what I noticed? I put her in my hands for a second. She just feels like a handful of feathers. They're so loose, like falling off.
Yeah, she's so loose.
This pigeon in about 3 weeks will look like a yearling. Now, question. Does respiratory meds that go in the water work? Of course they do. Everything that you use should work if you use it properly. And again, if that's a 6-liter drinker. If you have 20 pigeons and you're using that as your drinker, you're wasting medication. And if you don't read the medication and put it in right, you could be not putting enough in.
You're losing the internet.
Oh, hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna have to put this drink down. Hold on. Take the drink. We're gonna have to make an adjustment here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna have to hold the camera like this. It's not gonna be as smooth until my. Whew, I was lucky.
The only thing, if I might say, respiratory treatment. So let's say you've got a couple in here that you see it's got respiratory problems.
Hold the bird up.
This is going to be a hen as well. Very strong in the front. It's incredible, the strength.
Now, we should probably go in, let these guys...
Yeah. So we were talking about respiratory in the loft. If you see a couple birds with respiratory, I would pull them out. I would put them into a basket, and I would just treat them in the basket. If you got a Respovac, which we have, then you could put yellow drops in the nostrils, each nostril, and you'll see you'll clear that up in a few days. Why treat the whole flock for respiratory when they don't need it, right? Like, have you ever noticed sometimes you meet some people, you could be working with them, and you know, they've always got a cold. They got a cold, they got a cold. No one else has a cold, but they always have a cold. So why treat the whole people you work with for colds when they don't have a cold? Actually, you're actually hurting the birds or the people when you do that. Say, I'm going to put you on antibiotics because John has a cold. He always has a cold. So the whole group's going to go on antibiotics. Is that right?
And I'm going to ask you, we got one time a very nice pigeon as a gift. Bob Bodden bought it for us.
Yeah, the late Bob Bodden.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He bought us a pigeon. And the pigeon bred very good young pigeons for us.
Yeah, blue bar cock.
Yeah, he bred 2 ace pigeons in the combine. He bred a 1-loft race winner. But all the children on their yearling year, what would they always come down with? Bad respiratory. Snotting. And after his first or second year of breeding that cock, in the midsummer, he would come down with this chronic respiratory. You know what?
I remember we put one of his youngsters in a 1-loft race one time, and he was ranked out of about 600 birds. He placed 7th in average speed ranking, and that was out of that cock.
Yeah, Bob.
Just let me finish. And when we got the cock home, I couldn't believe it. He was a cock as well. He was rattling and rattling just like an old Mexican diesel engine. Just rattle, 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 rattle. And I said, I couldn't believe this pigeon did so well out of that group of birds. And I eliminated him. And also, I eliminated the cock that Bob gave. It was a beautiful blue bar cock. Gave it as a gift. Don't show Henry that. He's going to want to take his bird back. Henry didn't say. Is that out of what's
it's out of Terry.
I thought it was out of Terry. It looks exactly like Terry.
I'm going to tell you.
And Terry was actually the winner of the
Hedgie Hart Award.
Hedgie Hart Award. And how did she get that, Ryan?
The bird that showed the most heart. Terry flew with a broken foot half the season. Oh, I don't want to bother him.
And Terry was very committed to the Pioneer Loft because after the season, Henry took her home, which Henry got that bird. How did he get that bird, Ryan?
He bought it in the auction.
He bought it in the auction. Who was the breeder of that?
That was Fernando Dietrich.
Yeah, Fernando Dietrich was one of his birds, and Henry bought it at the auction, young bird auction here from the Pioneer. Henry took the bird home, and I believe next spring he got a pair of youngsters out of it.
Yeah.
And by accident, his wife went in to feed or left the door open in the loft. And that bird, after a pair of youngsters, came back here to the Pioneer, and it came into the Twisted Sister.
It just came back, yeah. Okay, another question.
Yeah.
Is it true that white pigeons don't win OLRs, or is it just issues because of their breed? Well, guys, there's good white pigeons, blue pigeons, chocolate pigeons. You know, here's the problem you have with white. Here's the problem with white pigeons. I've been to all the lofts in Europe. I haven't met the man who says I only race white pigeons. Okay? I've been to one guy's loft. He only likes reds. All he races is reds. But he had a big first provincial win there, Herman's Bonnie, this weekend.
But you know, the statement is, I'm going to give you kind of a comparison here.
Let's go in the house.
Okay, that's like saying, okay, white guys, just let me talk. White guys cannot play basketball. It's mostly dark fellas, black guys. Okay, wait. What do you see on? You see a few white guys playing excellent basketball.
Can I ask you a question? If I was at 30 lofts in Europe, I seen one loft, the guy has predominantly reds. All the other lofts are blues and checkers. Big name lofts. Guys, if the big name loft if people start breeding white pigeons to win, within about 50 years, they're going to be super white. But people have made excuses that the hawks eat them.
That's just an excuse. You know what? Load your loft up with white birds and have one blue bar in there, and watch out. The blue bar will get nailed.
You'll lose the blue.
I see that grizzle right there is hurting. See it? Right there to your right.
Yeah.
That grizzle.
This bird looks like he's been hurting every day, but you know what? I think it's just how he looks at night. You want to handle him or no?
No, leave him alone.
You know what? The tail's nice and clean. And again, guys, we can write in the message board how they look, right? We can write it. I can write it. Isn't that right? Oh, this one's nice. It's all beautiful. It's all hunky-dory. We'd rather take you into the loft and show you. What color pigeons do hawks like best? You know what a hawk likes? He likes the dummy that pulls out of the pack first.
Yeah, I think
he likes the one that does that. And by the way, that doesn't mean a three-time combine winner isn't the dummy on that day to pull out of the pack.
If you again, I know that Leah, she has the Flying Bitches. She started off with about 24 Icelandic whites at the beginning of the year. They flew 9 races, including the last 4 300 milers, 300 plus milers. And she ended up with 6 left at the end. Now, there was gentlemen that had, they wouldn't keep a white pigeon, wouldn't keep a red pigeon. They had blue bars and checkers. They never made it to the end. So, okay, I'm sorry, but...
Hey, it is what it is.
What's the end?
Let's roll. Let them go to bed. And, you know, if you're into white pigeons or red pigeons or grizzles or chocolates, whatever, just go out and get the best ones you can. Race them hard, respectfully, and guess what? After 5 or 10 years of hard selecting and racing, and we're not talking racing them 3 weeks and stopping them. We're talking about racing 9-10 weeks. Then race them as old birds, 9-10 weeks. Race them in all the conditions. And you know what? Eventually you're going to have real good whatever you're looking for.
Ryan, I know some gentlemen, they got super blue bars, you know, blue bars. So I took it to the 3rd race and I stopped them. I didn't, the young ones, I stopped them. I didn't want to do it anymore. I stopped them. Oh, wait a minute, buddy. They got to be, if I'm a coach of a hockey team or a baseball team or a soccer team or any of those teams, hey boys, you're on the team. I respect you. I'm training you with respect and feeding with respect, giving you my knowledge with respect. If you can't, there's an Icelandic there. If you can't,
there's a young bird.
Look at that. Got chased off the roof.
Yeah.
If you can't play a game once a week and let's go to battle, you got to go. You got to go. You got to go 9 weeks.
Something wrong. I'm going in because I'm not going to get eaten by mosquitoes.
Do you notice though in the loft?
There's no mosquitoes.
No mosquitoes. That's because of the lime in there.
Yeah, forget this. Let's go in, man.
I got to get this.
They're going to eat us like candy.
That bird
there. You got your mic on. Do you want to shut your mic off? Give me your mic for a second. Guys, you have questions, now's your time. Hawks can read pedigrees and diplomas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. They pick the worst birds or they pick the best birds.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I've had hawks eat combine winning birds and leave a white. Either way, it is what it is. Let's go inside for a sec. Let me set the mic up here. Put that light on, Ricky. So our audience can see what's happening.
Oh, there she goes, right on the board.
Right on the board.
She got, I don't know if you remember, Ryan, a couple hours ago, we had either it was a turkey vulture or something went over.
We had the same, thing happen to you last year.
Yeah, I had my young birds out there.
Put that on your shirt.
And I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, they can hear you.
I had my young birds out there today and the turkey vulture went over.
David Tracy, there's guys out there that only race with tailwinds. Well, but that's why when they get a headwind, they're nowhere, you know, I can tell you something. I can fly 6 weeks in a row and win on a tailwind. Okay? Win all 6 races and I feel real good. And all I'm saying to myself is, and this is what I say to myself, well, I don't know if I know anything about pigeons yet, because you don't judge your wins on tailwinds. You judge them on headwinds. Because the headwind means you know how to condition a pigeon, know how to feed properly, and have a quality of pigeon. A quality of pigeon.
Quality is 100% right. I remember the late Dave Rogers, speaking with him one day.
You can sit here. We'll read the questions.
And talking to Dave Rogers, I went over to visit him one day. He was a great, great pigeon man. Passed away now a couple of years ago. But he said, here, handle some of the birds. I said, oh, I like this. I like this one. He handed me a bird. The thing was deep. The tail went up. And I said to him, I said, Dave, why are you keeping this one for? This one's whole. He said, let me tell you something. That bird won me a 150-mile race. It won me a 400-mile race. And it won me a 525-mile race. The same pigeon. So it won short, middle, and long.
Yeah.
It just had that heart, right?
Well, and that's the other thing. you got to look for the pigeons that sort of can do, sprint to middle or middle to long. Very rarely you find the ones that do it all very well, but you have to test them. Even the sprint pigeons, they got to be able to work in a headwind, not just in tailwinds. I know. They always say in Europe, "Oh, that was a good racing day. It was 1,200, or it was 1,000, or it was 1,100." They don't overly brag. Well, when you win 1,500, wasn't a race day. It was just an easy blow home. But hey, blow on your end, yes, on your end. Okay, so there we go. We got that. You can win a race with a sick bird on tailwinds. Oh yeah, well, on tailwinds, you know what? There's still good pigeons that win those races. I'm not taking anything away.
Let me say something.
But I'm not as impressed.
Excuse me. Win a race with a tailwind with a sick pigeon. Excuse me, I got a cough. What's your competition?
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
if you have 100,000 pigeon men flying in a tailwind, and you do that the first 5 weeks of racing,
there's no way your sick pigeon's going to win that race.
No, but he's just saying it as a point. Just a point. Anything can win on a tailwind. But you take those same 100,000 flyers after 5 races of tailwind, turn it. Whoever's been winning, turn it around and put those same birds into the headwind. You see most of the time different people. But anyways, we can go on about tailwinds and headwinds all day. If you like tailwinds, enjoy your tailwinds. We like working days, not blow home days.
I'd have to say again, that day that Volker beat me at Long Lac by 2 hours, I was second to Volker in the club. I'd have to say, holy smokes, that was quite a day. And I got 2 birds, 2nd and 9th in the club. So,
ain't not bad.
Excuse me.
That's racing. And these birds here, when we race them, we don't fly for the tailwind. We don't fly for the headwind. We fly them on the days that are scheduled. So we will be basking on Thursdays for Saturday races. If Saturday we get up to the release points and the weather is clear, she's 100 degrees with 25-mile-an-hour headwinds, we go to work. If it's tailwinds, we go to work. If it's crosswinds, we go to work.
And if we get up there and it's fog, heavy fog,
we wait.
We wait till the fog clears, and by the time it clears, could be 10 o'clock in the morning. By that time, it's 85-degree heat.
Which we had it last year.
We had it last year, and away they go.
And we had people last year when we flew, and they were guys that were in our club. They're flying against the one-loft birds. They didn't get any birds. We let them up at around, it was 10 o'clock in the morning out of North Bay. There's about 400 pigeons that went up.
Right.
And the Pioneer one-loft birds, I will say, and yours, birds you were flying, we smoked them.
Right.
Those birds, and we had people say, well, you let them out, it was way too hot. And you want me to tell you why? I talked to all those guys. They say this, I'm up at training. I let my birds out at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, there's no heat.
Wait, they're home by 7:30.
Yeah, there's no heat.
Right. We work them 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Guess what? If we're going to work in the heat, we're going to race in the heat. Because if I can work them in the heat, anytime I put them out in cool weather, it's easy. But if it happens to change,
well,
they already have the gears built up to do it.
If they're on the wing, Ryan, 4 hours, 5 hours, they're going to have heat. They can't stop. And it's very, very important that the Liberation, the trailer operator, gives the birds water on the truck.
That's what we show.
And it's very important that you train your birds to drink water through a basket.
Hold on.
If that man on the truck does not water them, I'm telling you, they fly for about an hour and they start looking for...
Can I tell you something?
They look for pools, they look for rivers, they look for lakes.
I'm going to tell you something. Those American birds that I brought, they can survive in a basket. The brain is in another level than the other ones that are here.
Right.
It's common sense. Now, I started basket training these other ones.
Right.
I don't care. If you train your birds at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, your birds can do 80 miles and they're home by 7:30 and it's just starting to get warm. They have a drink. That's great.
But your birds, when it gets down to the real nitty gritty, they don't have the gears built up. They don't have the conditioning. When you go into those lofts and we take the water away, they go 3-4 hours with no water and they sit in the heat. They're conditioning. They're learning to deal with, what do we call that little bit of uncomfortableness? Mm-hmm. Just a little bit. Anyways, Tracy has a question. We got 2 questions here in a row. Tracy's first question. I'm new and I don't know much about the wind thing, but how much is that just an excuse? No, there's no excuses. Tailwinds means fast day. Headwinds means slow day. Crosswinds, if you're on the left side or on the right side, you have an advantage.
Shoulder headwind.
Yeah,
all those.
Everything matters on where you're positioned in winds. But the pigeons that fall at 9 p.m. versus second place at 7 a.m. the next day, is that in the eye of vitality? I would always say, listen, I think there's multiple ways of looking at that. I think if you're flying a 400-mile youngbird race or 350 and you get those pigeons that show up just before dark, I think those are very good pigeons. I think those, and if it's a tough day, we're not saying you flew 350 miles, the birds were up at 7 and you started clocking birds at 2:30 or 3. And then you look at birds that come at 9 o'clock at night. No. I'm saying you let the birds out at 7. You start clocking birds at 6 o'clock or 5:30 in the evening. Mm-hmm. 6 o'clock, 6:37, and then you get birds that are still coming at 9. Those are super birds. And I think early morning the next day birds are good too.
I remember one time we had in the Stouffville Club, there's a very special trophy. We had a Raymore Open, which is 320 miles to where I live now. And if you could win that race 3 years in a row, you got this super nice trophy, very nice. But
hey, we got a picture of that if we go in the photo album. We should show that for next week because you won it.
Yeah.
It was a huge trophy. I didn't destroy it.
So, believe it or not, people, we were, the race was on and there was not any daybirds. Okay, and Nancy and I are sitting out here on the patio here, and what was it? It was about 10 o'clock that night, total dark, and there was just the clear sky, like around, and I said, "Wow. There's a pigeon." I could see the silhouette of a pigeon on the roof of that loft. I said, "There's a bird, that hen, dark checker hen, I still remember." And I whistled her. She came in. I called up Carl Winterstein. I says, "Yeah, anybody else got a bird?" "No, I got a bird." Bang.
Okay, so
amazing. Just keep on going, hen.
Good comment.
But then I got greedy the next week, and she was in immaculate shape. I put her to another race. And
sayonara.
Gone.
Hold on, okay, David Tracy. We have a 400 to 500 mile coming up this weekend. Perfect east winds. Birds come from the south, and I'll be sending a whole team. Done that for years. Best birds will be there. Yes, always remember, guys, whenever there's east in the wind, whatever country I've been to, east is never, you never get it'll be a broken up day. And 400 to 500 miles, David, the birds you get back from that one, they'll be good ones, so enjoy that one. Best of luck on that. We did a little different type of family show tonight. Sometimes it's good just to go in the loft. We've been going pretty like crazy. Again, we're wrapping up taking these birds in. We got starting this weekend, maybe on Monday of this week, we're going to start chipping up my birds. And then we'll do mine first, then we're going to do Richard's. Go from there. In about 10-12 days, we're going to start letting the birds out. And you'll see how we do that. Again, every day the birds go in, the birds go out, the birds go in, the birds go out. Water's the same. Any birds that aren't right, we'll let you know.
I see with the birds I have, I go out there and I give them some feed. about, let me see, about 2 hours before I lighten them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're in the dark.
Yeah.
But I give them feed.
Yeah, well, you know what we'll do. You know what we'll do tomorrow.
They know. Yeah.
Tomorrow we'll do at 10 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. We'll do a feeding.
And then I lighten them around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
We'll give them a feeding so the
I
people
always
can
say
see.
you can keep them in the dark a little bit longer than take them out of the dark sooner. So in other words, if you lighten them at 12:30, which I do, and I keep them till 1:30, that does not hurt them. But if you take them and lighten them at 11:30, that will change that system more.
Do we have the dates for the Pioneer Old Bird? Okay, we're going to talk about that. Jeez. Spring Hill has 500-mile race in the winter was 1,900 meters. Yeah, well, flying 1,900 at 500 miles, that's great, and that is super, but it's just take those pigeons and put them at 1,200, and guess what? You're not going to get many birds back.
Or wait, put them at 900.
Yeah, even at 1,200, you're going to see a big difference.
Yeah.
Different pigeons.
Yeah.
Pioneer Old Bird, let's see where that is. Oh, I don't know if I can see the dates from here.
But you gotta remember, Ryan, in that area where those people fly, it's the majority of the races are probably over 1,400 meters.
Oh, I just
Right?
screwed that up, yeah.
So
So,
those people, they can't in that area. They got the from where they're flying. They got what, a northwest wind.
I don't
know. So you can't say, well, we want 900 meters or 1,000 meter races, because they don't get that. They get maybe 1 out of 8 races in a year. So they're basically flying more on a speed type course. Right. Same as if you go to Texas down there.
It's all speed.
CL Gauge race there, one-off race. It's all speed.
all those,
a lot of tailwinds. They're flying from up, down.
Not knocking it. No, I'm not knocking it. But you look at all one-off races, 99% of them. I'm wrong. 95%. The man has to fly him in a tailwind. Do you want to know why?
Yeah, he's got to make the.
He's got to make the money, and that's okay, because you want me to tell you what happens when you fly pigeons, 6 races, 8 races, 9 races, into race speeds that are between 900 and 1,200. If you take in 500 pigeons, you will be left with under 100, and those are the pigeons that have it. But for the longevity of the race, right? The man has to be smart and say,
those last 3 races, he wants to keep them in, and he picks his time. Most pigeons
are not designed on working day races.
That's right.
Because when you bring birds back that finish one-off races that have flown 3 races, and they were all tailwinds, your odds of them hitting super good ones, I don't think are there. But hey, that's a me thing.
Well, that's not you. That's the truth, my friend.
Well, that's just what my opinion is.
If you say if you're going to tell me I won this race with this bird and it flew 1,900 meters a minute, okay, I don't want it.
Okay, so hold on. We got a couple more questions. Brian, this weekend we had a 500-mile race. I had a daybird flying 1,200 yards. See? Again, that's a working day.
A 500-mile race.
That's right.
Exactly. That's what I was saying about my long lac with Volker. Beat me by 2 hours. I was second, and everybody said, Richard, you're second, man. That's pretty darn good. Yeah. And they were spread right out till 8:30 at night. That is a darn good working pigeon. Now, if you put a pigeon, let's say, to a 150-mile race, and the birds come at 3 hours later, okay, 3 hours, you got a little bit of headwind maybe. 3 hours later, the majority of the group comes 3 hours later. Now, all of a sudden, you got your pigeon comes 10 hours later. Looks like he was on the wing 9 hours. No, that's garbage. You understand me?
Yeah, okay.
That pigeon stopped at the stream,
right,
at the hotel, maybe stopped somewhere,
That's
right?
You got to look at your days. Okay, so as for Henry's question, next week's family show, we're going to talk about the Old Bird race. So, Henry, don't worry. Next week is going to be all about that. That's the first thing. Heather Green asks, when you guys do the races for the OLR, will you mix the teams or do you have Ricky as A-Birds? No. Every time there's a graduation, so all the 5 graduation training flights from 2 miles out to 80, those, only the graduations, Ricky and myself will release together. And then all 9 races we release together. But all the other training, he'll have his group, I have my group. And then that way you see as it progresses. That way it's a little better show. But they all get released together on any of the money, any time where there's money involved.
They're going together.
It's a mass release. So you're going to get a mass release from 2 miles, and you're going to get a mass release from 370 miles. So don't worry about mass releases. You're going to have more than enough. You're going to have literally, what is that? What's 5 and 9 is what?
14.
You're going to have 14 mass releases. So you'll know. Don't worry. And Heather, that mealy pie you sent, what a nice looking pigeon. Really
Oh,
strong.
yeah, that little mealy, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mike, you missed that one. But
We'll have to see, right?
we'll have to see. And you know, it's funny.
It can be real nice today, but in 3 weeks, when we liberate them, goes out and Hawk picks them off, or hits a wire, or
Or hey, it
Or
comes
what?
down with young bird sickness. Anything can happen.
yeah, it could be young bird sickness.
You know, people say, how do you stop this? How do you stop that? Guys, you can't stop everything. If you don't get young bird sickness, you might lose some off the roost. You don't have that problem, you don't have that problem, you lose some training.
Well, hey,
you have
hey,
a bad race.
You know, let's look at it there a couple weeks ago. There, I think it was, we had this hard wind here, a tornado with rain, and I think Leah took a video of it. But at that time, it was sunny as could be.
Right.
Prior to this, and I had all my young birds out on the Twisted Sister up
Right.
on the roof.
Right.
Not all of them, a lot of them. And some of them were just in that mosquito stage, you know, just go up onto the roof, down, 6 feet up, 6 feet down. They couldn't really, they're not professional flyers.
Yep.
And that wind came through here. Took trees down, we lost hydro, whatever. I had pigeons blowing off that roof that ended up in the field next door.
Yeah.
And then the torrential rain came.
Right.
I actually had to go and look around and pick
Find
them
pigeons,
up.
find pigeons.
Pick them up, these youngsters. They couldn't get back up. So,
Do we clip the 9th and 10th? No, we don't. We're darkening the birds, so most of the birds won't be up in that problem. But we don't clip the 9th or 10th. If people send birds that are clipped, we'll pull them, but we don't clip the 9th or the 10th. Right now they're in the dark, so they're going to hold the flight feathers. They should hold. Most birds will hold the flights, molt out the body so they're nice and clean. And they got full suit and tie to race, which looks good.
and we keep them in the dark till be the first week of August.
Yeah, maybe first or second week. It depends. We're going to see here. We want to get in about minimum of 8 weeks, but it's 8 weeks till the last bird comes in. So we'll say, but we'll say this weekend there. That's it. So about the first of June. Yeah, about the second week of August, we'll put the lights on, and then they come into some more form again. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the health of the birds. We have seen some birds go up and some birds go down, but that's normal. It's
And talk about young bird sickness. It happens. It's coming. It comes and it happens. And a lot of times you hear people saying, well, I never ever get young bird sickness. But let's look at 100%, let's say, I would have to say 95% of people will get young bird sickness. And if they don't get it before the races start, before the real stress starts, they get into about the 3rd race, and then they'll tell you, I got young bird sickness. And if you get that sickness into the 2nd, 3rd race, you cannot bring your pigeons back into form. You can't bring them back. they're done. You better just
what,
park.
So what Richard's saying is, guys, this is between us. This is what we like. I want to see young bird sickness now. Give it to me now, please. Give it to me before I'm breaking, before I'm loft flying, before they're road training. I want the sickness. I'm perfect now. I'm good for it. Let's get it in. Let's let her go through and get it done. Now, Leah asked a question. What are both of your methods for breaking the pigeons? Well, we're breaking right now as we speak. Today you watched Richard there with the water. She talks to the pigeons. That's a bit of breaking. You see that. Today, my birds go out into the aviary. They're out there all day there.
Yeah.
I had other birds in the basket. I had the birds in the basket out in the middle of the yard. Sitting in the basket looking at the loft. Sitting there listening. Sitting there.
In the heat.
They started in the shade. Then the sun moved to get in. They had about an hour. They had about an hour and a half in the nice shade.
Yeah.
Then it moved. They had an hour and a half in the sun.
Yeah.
I put them back on the landing board, let them in.
Yeah.
Tomorrow now, the next group goes in the basket.
Now,
Not the American birds,
let me
the
ask-
Canadian ones. They'll go a little bit like
Those
this.
ones you let in, how did they respond when they went in?
They wanted to go in like firecrackers.
Yeah, and they went right in
Right
into
in,
their
they went in
section.
the section, they had a drink, they had some food, they had it all there for
So
them.
that's very good. Very good.
So those are slightly the methods you start with. But overall, when it's the day to let them out, you've got to open a chute and walk away.
Well, by that day, you build that respect. It's respect saying, give an example, when I was a boy, Mom said, supper's ready. I just kept playing outside in the yard. When I came in, Mom said, you just missed supper. Oh,
Well,
tomorrow I'm going to be in the house. And I didn't lose no weight. You
and
get what I'm saying? Respect.
But the other thing is, what people again forget is, we do all this for the birds for breaking. Okay, as long as one bird breaks, just one. As long as one pigeon out of the 400 break, only one,
They all should break.
everyone should break. And there is a point where it becomes on the pigeon. The pigeon has to have it here to slow it down and say, hey, I live here. And that's what we're going to wait and see. Billy says, I do open loft all day on weekends. Is that okay? Open loft's great. We call that open hole. Super. Pigeons always loft fly good. The earlier you can get them out in the morning, the better with open hole. And later in the evening they're flying at night is better too.
100%.
You normally notice midday, the high part of the day, you see a lot of sitting around loafing. That's okay.
But open hole pigeons, as long as you don't have hawks sitting around waiting.
Yeah, and you have the feeding right, so they're out there wanting to go and play. Then I think you're okay.
I know in the early 80s I had open hole pigeons, and I just opened them up at 5:30 in the morning. No feed, and they would go. They'd loft fly. They'd go out in the fields and that, and come. The pigeons were in such good condition. I'd give them like a half a cupful of feed at night. They were like bullets. But then we started getting into this the hawk problems, and once you get into those problems, you gotta thank God he's lucky.
So, yeah, open hole. If you're in an area that you can do it, it's good. And again, these birds here, when these birds start going out, so for instance, my team's going to go out in the mornings. They'll go out at 6 in the morning. I'll bring them in at 1 o'clock. But when they go out, they'll go out. Chutes are locked. They're outside. I want them to sit on the roof. I want them to sit in a tree. I want them to fly. I want them to eat on the grass. I want them to what we call
Bee birds.
bee birds.
Yeah.
And once they get used to that, and you're going up a little bit on their own, then we slowly start to turn the screwdriver to get them playing, right? And then once everything's rolling good, then we get them on a little bit tighter leash, and away we go.
It's like the racehorse guys. The young horses, the foals.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you call them foals. They're like colts, young horses. They want them to first become horses.
Sure.
In other words, go out in the field, run around, kick and jump and do what they have to do and become Right.
not robotic.
Yeah, right.
Go out and be, I was in Europe there, and I was at Sonia's, and they were on the lawn picking, they're landing on the sheep, and they're
Yeah.
doing this, they're doing that, and they go up and do a couple circles, and they land, all different ages. And, like they say, you can't you got to let them be themselves a bit here.
Like
on.
Anime Van He said, when you let them out, they're in that monkey stage, right?
Yeah, Billy writes, I have 32 birds. I feed them all they want once a day. I think that's perfect.
And stay on that program. That's
Stick
it.
to the program. Rita writes, LMR and Ryan, does breaking mean the same thing as settling?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Breaking, settling. I thought
Yeah.
breaking meant pigeons breaking from big groups. No.
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 Well-
Breaking. Yeah. Well,
I always train on a line of flight. And if they get screwed up with some other birds, they got to break. And if you got your pigeons, first birds out of that trailer on a line of flight.
But I was talking with Derek Walsh. Derek Walsh from Ireland. There, he's posting results. He took the first 12 over 4,000 birds or whatever.
Right.
And he says, Ryan, you do not believe how good 5 mile training is. Like, you can train them 30, 40 times. He says the young pigeons in a season should have 70, 80 tosses. Now, this is a man on sprint.
From what distance?
He flies
50 miles?
from 80 miles to 150 miles, right?
Right.
That's his niche,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he says a lot of guys make the mistake with young pigeons of not giving nearly enough work. They say, well, I traded them 4 times. They're ready. That's his thought. Now, everyone is different. I like his thought. I see it. You start to notice the more you work the young pigeons,
It's not
the sharper they get.
If you don't mind me getting into this, a guy that says I trained them 4 times, they're ready to go. Like, I don't believe that. It just there's no way. The same guy, does he really loft fly them?
Yeah, we had over 65 tosses last year. We were probably close to, I'd say, 75 or 80. There were some that the internet didn't work or whatever. But again, I think that's why last year when we flew these one loft birds against the guys that came to Pioneer, I think the first six or 7 weeks, the Pioneer birds destroyed them. But again, we put the work in. Now, in that same token, people said, hey, Ryan, you train too hard. You're nuts. You're this. You're that, right? Yeah, but I knew Mike Van Kempen and Robert Rohde and Ross Vaccaro and Tony Elvis and the other ones, they were all coming to play. They sure as hell don't want to be dead last, do I? No. So you got to go out and work. And you know what? The birds that we had that managed our training, you know what they were? They were good pigeons.
I like to say,
They were good pigeons.
I'll tell you the truth. Those names you just put out there, these one-loft birds, slammed them,
No, we crushed them.
crushed.
But you know what? We took them out and we took them to work.
Yeah,
And they did what
went
they
to
had.
work.
They did it. And you know what? I'll say it again. We then took the same pigeons and put them in the Gold Band series, my one loft birds. I had the second ace pigeon, the second high point pigeon. That's very proud for me to do that with those. You had your own birds that you were flying. You did very well as well. We were on the same system together. It worked well. Hold on. When you first send the birds down the road, do you send them 5 miles the first time? I'll be honest with you. If your birds are loft flying real good and they're rambling and ranging, so you let them out and they disappear for a half hour, they come back, they disappear, they come back, they disappear.
To an hour and 10
or you let them out, you don't see them for an hour and a half, they come back, or you let them out
Yeah.
the next day, you let them out, and all of a sudden, about 40 minutes later, you get one come, and then, they break up, and they're coming all broken up. When the birds are doing that, your first toss, you can make it 5 miles, or 10 miles, or 15 miles, it's whatever you want. Our system this season will be the duck farm, which is 2 miles, then we go to 10 miles, then we go to 21 miles, then we go to 50 miles, then we go to 80 miles.
if you see last year, Ryan, you were training quite a bit there, and I just took my birds and just jumped them up. Boom, 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 boom. Up they went.
Yeah, you did good.
But don't get fooled. I knew a man one time, he told me, he said, I let my birds out in the morning and they're gone for 2-3 hours. And and I was on the road by his place. His pigeons were going down the road about 2 miles from his house, landing on those hydro wires. And he thought
They were flying.
they were out flying. Guy said, my birds are super. They're flying for 2 to 3 hours. They're just like gone, man. And I seen the man's birds all on the hydro wires. I knew they were his birds. I knew it. So,
Just don't get fooled.
If they fly for half an hour to an hour and they're coming over, you're better off to drop them with droppers or whatever you do. Whistle, shake the can,
Well,
get them in. Because any more than an hour or so, it's way too much.
yeah, once they're in race mode, again, you don't want to race the races before the races. I think even last year, I could have used a little more rest at the end. I think sometimes when you let them out for their loft fly,
Yeah,
and they get hawked or something, and they go for 2 hours, you just keep taking the race out of them. I'm not making that mistake this year.
If they come in from their morning toss, loft fly, they come in, they should rest.
A lot of rest is key once you're in condition. I think this was a pretty fun little family show. We hope you guys enjoyed what we're doing. Next week we'll be back to the regular program. Leo will be on with us. We'll be done taking birds in.
And then we start. Everybody's going to be.
No more birds in the loft, so we get everything cleaned up. The ones that are going to have the strength to carry on are going to carry on. The ones that aren't going to make it, you're going to have them. I'm not going to say that you're not. You're going to have the odd one that goes off the wagon. When you look today, the checker facing the wrong way. If he don't pick it up, he don't pick it up. Guys, and that's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's called life. Life.
That's right. If
Real simple.
if he doesn't pick it up now,
You can't win 300 miles.
Never going to pick it up in a headwind at 200-mile headwind. Once those young ones, you really don't know what they're about until they fly roughly in a race
Or training setting.
2 hours on the wing.
2 hours, you start to know what you got.
But if you take them 25 miles and it takes 2 hours to come home, that's not what I call 2 hours on the wing.
Yeah, you got to roughly say 100 miles. The bird should be 2 hours on the wing in fair conditions. Not 20 mile an hour headwinds, not 20 mile an hour tailwinds. No wind. Take them 100 miles. Crank them out. You want to see them between 2 hours and 2.5 hours. You're in the right spot. Heather Green says this. She always learns. Take the good with the bad. That's what Leah said. So my quick question I have is, this afternoon, Ryan, you were giving the birds a pan of milky stuff. What is it and what's the purpose? It's for good gut bacteria. It's whey. When you make cheese, it's the whey from the cheese, the water from the cheese. So we boil that up. We're lucky that Mo, the cheese man, gives it to us. We boil it up. You can put some iodine in it. You can put some yellow drops in it. You do one of the two. Give that to the birds. It coats the lining of the stomach. So if there's any birds that do have a little bit of young bird sickness, the guts aren't tight, this helps them tighten it up. When you boil it, it does smell very, very good. Has a nice sweet smell to it. I give my birds a bath a lot. We right now, we don't use bath pans. We use sprinklers. We don't want the birds drinking bath water. Okay? These birds, especially we pull the water away. When we give them a bath, sprinklers go on. They have a bath. That way, if they do drink even off the wire, it's fresh, it's clean.
Yep.
Okay? It's clean water. The secret, especially with these one-loft birds, clean water. It's the same with your own birds, clean water. Good night, all. I enjoy. Good night, Michael Peevler. Guys, we're going to let you go. Next week, regular family show. Remember, Wednesdays at noon on our Feathers Elite Pigeon Auction page. Special guest this week, Alfred Cohn Van Zoren. It's like the pink stuff for humans. Yeah, it's like the pink stuff. It's like the pink stuff for humans. Yeah, that's right. It's like Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah. So,
But it tastes a lot better.
how is our one loft coming here, Ryan, with the entries? What are we up to now?
I think we're right around 400, but we're going to wait for next week. Once the last birds are in, we're going to give you guys the count, the stats, the rundown, and we go from there. Frank, good evening. David Tracy, I would be a healthy pigeon because I love cheese. Yes, and yes, we are going to feed the birds cheese, vegetables. You're going to see it. All I can say is stay tuned into our page. Good night to everyone. Thank you guys again for all your support. Like, share, and subscribe, or just subscribe, like, and share. Any order you do it, make sure you do the one thing we need you to do. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. On behalf of the pigeons, Loft Manager Richard, Leah, and myself,